Now, making URL aliases are very tedious. Again, like I just mentioned, if you have 1,000 pages on your site, it's going to take a really long time to do that. So the solution to this is the Pathauto module, which can write these aliases for us. And Pathauto follows a naming scheme that we can dictate to it. So I'm going to install the Pathauto module and activate it, and we'll have a look at how that works. Now I've gone ahead and installed the Pathauto module. Make sure that you have path enabled, which should be done by default here in Drupal. It's in the core. And as well, you're going to need the token module, which the token module is so important, so many modules use it that you're really going to need that anyways. So once you have those done, you can go ahead and turn on Pathauto. Once Pathauto has been turned on, we're going to configure it. And straight out of the box, once we turn on Pathauto, it's going to look like this. And we can see by default, it's going to generate all of our content's path using this pattern below. It's going to be content backslash whatever the node title is. So let's give that a quick try. I'm going to go add content and just add an article. I'm going to call this test article for video. In the body, I'm just going to give some ones here. And where it says URL path settings, we can see it's checked off, generate automatic URL alias. So this is Pathauto working. We could disable this if we want, but we want to use it, so we're going to leave it checked off. Then I'm going to save the content. Now, as you see, the URL has become drupalforanyone.com /content /test article video. So just like the URL is named after the title here, test article for video. It's the name of the page. You can also notice here that the word for was taken out automatically. There's already a bunch of words like the, for, to, maybe it, in, that's going to be taken out of your URL. And actually this is great. This is already best practice. But I don't like mine being called content /test article video. I want my articles to be called, say, article. I feel like it's more relevant, people understand what it is. And maybe on my site here, as you can see, we have some tutorials, tips, courses. So I want my courses to be called courses. I want my tutorials to be in a folder tutorial. So how do we do that? I'm going to jump back to the URL alias page here on Drupal. We can see we can set a specific pattern for article paths. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it. Instead of content, I want them to be called articles, or better yet, maybe just article. For my basic page path, I may not want it to be called anything. In fact, I'm just going to have it at the root. So maybe I want a basic page to just be contact us or about us. So I can do that. For courses, I might put courses or course. And there we go. It's as simple as that. If we leave them blank, it's going to go back to the default pattern here at the top, which will give us content / the name of the node, the title of the node. If we look farther down, we have replacement patterns. We can use other replacement patterns using tokens. For example, we could use the current date. We'll put the date into the title. So maybe I want it node title hyphen, and I want the current date using, say, the short format. And let's add this, for example, to our article and test that. Okay, so our article should be article node title current date short. So let's save it. Then we go back to our test article and edit this. And make sure our URL path settings is set to generating automatically, and save. Now we have our URL at the top as article /test article video dash, and now it has the date in the short format. It's a little bit messy. I don't like having the date here, but that's just how you can do it if maybe you have a lot of news feeds or similar things like that where you need that in a title. As well, this could be helpful for other reasons. For example, if you have multiple authors on your site, you could have the name of the author automatically here. Then you would have the token for the author, then you could have the name of the article with the title after it. So node author, so we use this token. So it would look like this: node author, node title. Okay, going farther down, we can also use this to replace the path of our taxonomy terms, and you can do them per term as well as a general for all the default. So I'm not going to touch this actually. I like the way that it handles it default out of the box. You can also do this for user paths using the username. Again, I like keeping this default the way it's straight out of the box. It's already good. Now we do have some further settings here. If I click on the settings tab, we can see that the separator is already set to hyphen, which is what we want from SEO Moz, just reminded us of that. We don't want to use a space or a plus character. It says this can cause unexpected results, so do not do that. Really try and use this as the dash. So that's your best thing. Character case, we want to change it to lowercase. Again, this is set by default because this is the best option. The maximum alias length. So they have 255 as the maximum length. They recommend at 100. We're going to leave it there. This is going to fulfill our Internet Explorer requirements that we don't go over a certain amount for Internet Explorer, so that's no problem. Update action. So create new aliases, delete old aliases. This is what happens when we update our aliases. Now, we may not want this to happen, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but if we make new aliases, we might actually want to leave the existing aliases functioning. This means, for example, if we go back to my test page, and I called this test article for Drupal, and then I called it test article for me, test article for anyone, the URL would change on this because it's set to automatically change. But the old aliases would stay intact and allow us still to find that page. So this might be preferable in some situations. We're going to take a look again at this a little bit later using some other modules. Now, at the very bottom we have strings to remove, meaning these are specific words to remove. They have and, as, at, before, but, etc. So you may want to add some extra words to this if you use them often and you see them in your URL alias and you think, oh, okay, that's a filler word. It doesn't have any SEO value. It doesn't have any value to tell the person what page they're on, some human SEO value. Then make sure that you added the string here to remove. We want to keep our URLs as short as possible. So then just save your configuration when you're done.